Okay, so welcome to the Unconquered Fam podcast. I'm your host Malik Mayweather. Um, just another podcast, another day. Middle of the week. Like I said, strategically planned it this way. So if you're not having a good week, might be going through some. Hopefully, we can shed a little light on how to deal with some things you might be going through or not going through. So as I promoted earlier in the week, this week's topic is rejection over regret, and I feel like it's a big topic. It's something that everybody has to go through in life. You go through periods of rejection, and sometimes you look back at those rejection periods and you say, "All right, well, at least I tried." And it's better to have that "at least I tried" than to not have anything at all going on. And you looking back and saying, "Man, I wish I'd have done something about it." So, that's this week's topic. This is the Unconquered Fam podcast where positivity is the premise, love is the source, and the outcome is hopefully peace for you, whatever that means to you. So let's get right into it. Me, I'm a case of rejection. Life kind of rejected me. I was pronounced dead at birth, so it wasn't even like I even had a chance. People were thinking I was gonna have all these things wrong with me. Um, Thought that I wouldn't be able to see, always have to wear glasses and everything, or maybe I'd be kind of slow or whatever. So life kind of rejected me, but I'm here and I'm doing better than a lot of people, and now I'm just looking for a way to start helping people and bring them up as well. So the way to attack rejection in a positive manner, I say think of it this way: no is the only thing that can be said. Everything else is dependent on the attitude of the person or the other individual, how they may feel about you or feel about a certain situation. But how they feel about it is out of your control. No is it ultimately the answer that you got. So that doesn't mean you don't feel a certain way about the things, because some people have good intentions and they might not be being malicious when they tell you no. They may really just not be able to I guess give you the opportunity that you were looking for. So there's that. So you don't not take into account what the situation is, and just say disregard everything someone else has said about anything. But you do understand that regardless of all that, the answer was no. So in a nutshell, that is rejection, being told no. So um if they're being, I guess, malicious or fake or shady or whatever you would say, then you can take that into account and you don't forget that, because when things come back around, you choose whether you know, deal with certain people or not deal with certain people on certain things. And that's all a part of how they rejected you, if they rejected you in a malicious way, or if they really just did all they could but they couldn't help you out. So my experience as far as being just rejected, the most recent one I would have to say was I qualified for an ACC Future Interns program, and I went up there. I put my best foot forward with all of the companies that were there interviewing people, and everybody liked me, loved me. It seemed that I was getting high praise about the things that I was doing, but at the end of the day, after a couple weeks, and you start getting feedback from people, and I heard that that I was wise beyond my years, but I'd be bored with the internship. I'd probably quit in a month or not want to really participate in the program anymore. And it was basically a lot of people making a decision for me instead of asking me those questions right up, like, is it something that I'm really interested in, especially after I put my best foot forward, because it took a lot of effort. I mean, I drove up there to North Carolina from Atlanta. So it was a long drive, and a lot of preparation that went into it to just be told no. But you take the crookeds with the straights, as Denzel Washington said in Fences, and I just have to take that I was told no, regardless if they said that they loved me and everything. The answer was ultimately no. So I took it and I tried to learn from it, and also keep those relationships open, because just because it might not have been the right time for that position or anything, but something might come up later that I can take advantage of, and somebody might want to still help me, knowing my background or how I impacted them on those interviews or something of that nature. So That's how I feel we can look at rejection positively and move forward from that. As far as love, this isn't love in the traditional sense of the word or anything of that nature. This is more of a love your neighbor type of love, which is a lot easier said than done, because it's sometimes you don't really want to deal with people. Sometimes, you see people doing things and you kind of want to judge them. You kind of want to put them in this basket or that basket instead of really just taking the situation for what it is and understanding that you might not see it from their point of view, and they might have something else going on that's a lot harder for you to comprehend because you've never been in the same predicament. So you got to face it that it's not easy. You also got to understand that as human beings, we don't like being told no. It's just human nature, which is why I think unselfish people are seen as so rare. You know, Unselfish people are seen as extremely rare because of that human nature of us being just so selfish. Like we want things when we want it. We want to, if we're hungry, we want food. If we're cold, we want, a cover or a jacket. So that's just how we operate. And it's you have to learn to be unselfish. You have to learn to give. You have to learn to try to be empathetic towards people and what they may be going through, or understand that it's not always as black and white as people try to make things seem. So you know I think that's another thing you have to attack from a love angle, because it takes a lot of love and a lot of patience to be unselfish. And think about it this way: just because you were told no by your parents when you were younger, if you were like trying to go in the kitchen and get something to eat, you know, they know more than you. They're trying to protect you, and maybe you're allergic to something that you think you want that you're trying to grab on the counter. They told you no, they protected you, but that don't mean you hate your parents because they told you no. So you have to look at it from that perspective and understand that sometimes it's not always a bad thing to be told no. Some things aren't gonna go how you want them to go, and you have to just kind of push through it. And as far as working on peace, how to gain peace from all of this, being rejected, going through it, trying to really come out on the other side and push forward and become stronger and more mentally tough, I guess you would say, through some things. I think you have to I think you really gain like almost immunity to rejection once you start putting yourself in circumstances, or being presented with options or predicaments that put you in a position to be rejected, and you start to understand, all right, the worst thing I can be told is no. The worst thing I can be told is no. And you keep pushing forward through those things, and you get told no, and now it doesn't hurt as much because you've been told no a lot of times before. So from there, you can start moving forward and start doing things that you thought you would never be able to do because you're not afraid of being told no anymore. And you're always looking at it from an angle of learning and perspective, and trying to feel what other people are saying is their point of view. And once you start understanding people and you understand yourself, and you develop a deeper meaning for why you were rejected, then your responses become what you're really accountable for. Because peace doesn't mean you're not working. Understand you were rejected because of something you've done or something that was out of your control comes with maturity and going through those situations. So stop trying to, I would say, stop trying to avoid it, so to speak. It's really unavoidable. It's something you're going to go through regardless anyway. So don't try to avoid it. Try to understand it and understand if it was on you or if it wasn't on you. And from there, you move forward learning, how you can either control yourself or how you can put yourself in a better position to where the things that are out of your control don't affect you as much, So I think that's really the biggest takeaway as far as getting peace when you have to deal with rejection. The quote by Will Smith, I think, really resonates with me. Will Smith said, God put the greatest things in life on the other side of fear. And that makes sense because he didn't give you a fearful spirit. He gives you one of strength and courage. And it's not always easy, but it's essential to your growth as a person. And it's just something that you really have to deal with. So don't take no for an answer, rather take it as a moment to grow your perspective, and it will strengthen your discernment. And then you can make a plan based on whatever you decide to do next. Decide to do next based on what you've learned. So what I really want to do, just like this podcast, like I said, the first one was really kind of, I guess, nerve wracking because I've never done anything like this, but I'm a lot more comfortable now. And I've gotten some comments and some advice from people and whatnot, and I heed and take what, you feel me, I feel like I can incorporate, and then what I can incorporate, I don't. So if somebody's rejecting me and telling me that this isn't for me, this isn't something that I should do, well, I come back and tell them, well, hey, I wasn't really doing it for you in the first place if that's not something that appeals to you. Because like I said in the first podcast, I can't reach everybody. And I know that, the rejection and the comments and everything is essential for growth. So you kind of get tough skin messing with rejection. But there are different opportunities every day that you can use to take action. Go out and do something you've always wanted to do. I don't care, something that scares you or scares, it can scare the rejection out of you, I guess. The fear of rejection out of you. Go get on a roller coaster if you're scared of roller coasters. Go ask somebody out if you thought they was out of your league or something. Just do anything you can to, get used to dealing with that rejection and turning it around into something positive, So, if you look at it, at the end of the day, all anybody can do is say no. Once they say no, you take that no for what it is, and you move forward. And I really feel like it's something that a lot of people don't understand how to deal with, because you get a lot of validation, nowadays with social media and everything through, what other people are saying. Whether they're giving you a whole bunch of likes on pictures, whether you play a sport and you get the validation because you won an award, it starts to take away from, I guess, what you really identify with. And as soon as they take those things away, it's almost like rejection. It's like, oh, they don't rock with me anymore, And I think that's something you got to learn to deal with in any path that you're on in life. It could be your first job, it could be you the manager and somebody else got a promotion over you because they went to the same school as the person that's that hired you. All of these things are things you have to take into account, which is why I think they say do things you love. If you're an athlete, play a sport. If you're a painter, paint. If you're a singer, write songs. So because then you're gonna put your all into it. It's gonna have to be just right, and that rejection won't really matter because love is gonna overtake it. Your love for whatever it is you're doing. So that's my spiel on rejection. I don't know if it's gonna help anybody or not, but I really hope it does. Just whenever you're having a bad day, I guess think about it this way: life rejected me. I was pronounced dead at birth. Like, that's the ultimate form of rejection. Like, nah, you ain't making it. And then you come back and you got this guy that's sitting in front of you that has done way more than I guess a lot of people thought I would do. And it's because I just didn't listen to the I listened to the rejection, but I didn't take it and let it be how I value myself or my abilities. So that's the podcast for today. I really think you guys can just really send in your messages about things that you've gone through, or how you dealt with a certain topic, or a certain topic you would like me to discuss, and from there we can start putting those things on the podcast, because I'm not gonna sit here and talk your head off about everything about me, or just give you. It's hard not to be biased about my perception of certain things, because I have things that I've gone through that made me feel this way, and I'm always open to learning about other people's perspectives and really trying to figure out how they think about certain things, whether it's rejection, whether it's, peace, love, positivity, how they find peace, what they like to do, and how they express themselves, and also how they can help other people with what they're doing. So, send in y'all messages, emails, everything on every social media platform. We're Unconquered Fam. Join the family. Welcome to the family, or welcome you with open arms, man. This thing can really be big or small. It doesn't really matter. It's all about just helping somebody. If you help one person because you heard something I said today, that's how it starts. That's how you start paying everything forward. So, I appreciate y'all that tuned in. I appreciate everybody that's gonna watch these later, listen to the SoundCloud link, listen to it on YouTube, watch the lives over if you haven't seen it. I appreciate it all, and I'm out.